What's going on, everybody? It's CryptoVision here, back again with another deep dive. We're going to be checking out Solana. The red sell-off continues. Crypto, traditional stocks, precious metals, everything is taking a dump today. We're going to be checking in on Solana. We dropped a overview macro yesterday. If you're looking for deep dives, if you're looking for multiple asset deep dives, that'll be through Patreon. That is released on Fridays. It's included with the Profit Lab series as well. Discord is free. I'd love to have you. We do updates, bears, bulls, neutrals. Everyone is welcome. Without further ado, let's get into Solana and see what's going on. The last time we made a video was December 11th. December 11th on Solana. So this, right through here. This is the week of the 8th, so yeah, it would be this week right here. So this week right here. Okay, so we had these levels. We've had these levels for a long time. Okay, levels for a long time. No hindsight, not going back, not editing anything. This is what, as you know, the levels and the way the channel operates is, before we think about coming down to 85, we needed to come down through 127, right? Before we get to 137, before you get to 187, you have to come and defeat 137. Right, the way that the channel operates, the way that the framework operates for discipline foundation is I have a command center where I have take profit levels, I have stop loss levels based on key levels that I have. Right, I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice, but this is how I operate. Not just crypto, precious metals, traditional stocks, asset management, portfolio, preservation. Okay, so if you're interested in those kind of tools where you can see all of your assets, you can see everything compiled into one area, right? I offer those through the Patreon. There's a beginner and then there's an advanced option. So whatever you prefer, it is there. If you'd like, you can go check it out. The link's in the description. But when we come up through here and we reject this 137, high alert is going on. I am making sure that I'm either having partial stop losses at 127 or 118. There are stop losses somewhere going on, right? Something's going on through here. Okay, I'm not waiting for 94 to set a stop loss. Just because of the overall structure that we had. Where you have like this 1, 2, you have like this A, B, C for your third. You come up for that fourth, okay, possibly, right? You can always reverse on 3. You can reverse on 3. It's not guaranteed. It's not a 100% certainty, but you can reverse on 3 waves, right? But crypto likes complex fifth waves. They like complex corrections. Crypto loves complex corrections. This whole thing through here has been a correction. Believe it or not, this whole thing has been a correction. But we're just talking about this C wave, okay? We're talking about this C wave, okay? So you got this 1, 2, you have this A, B, C for a third, come up in a fourth, a 3-wave move for the fourth, and now you're in your 5th wave, okay? You're in your 5th wave. Yes, we had 94, it's at 85. A little bit off, but we had lower levels. Okay, and the idea here is with asset preservation is making sure that you're protecting yourself when key levels aren't taken. You couldn't take the 137. Okay, high alert. Maybe should be scaling out, maybe adding down low, scaling out and then adding as you go, right? Adding as you go, DCA down. Or, if you're more of the, I'm trying to time the bottom, that's pretty hard to do. We're timing the exact bottom. But it's possible. People do it all the time. In terms of the structure, in terms of what Solana has done, you're looking for a 1, 2. Yeah, your A, B, C of your third, your A, B, C of your third. Come down in a 4th wave, and then you came up in a 5th. Okay? So down through here, this whole thing through here, right? This whole thing from November 24th, November 25th, 2024 has been a correction. It's been a very long correction, a grueling correction, a very long correction. Solana does have 5 waves up, so this can actually come. I know it'd be brutal, but this can come all the way back down. And then it can go. It can come all the way back down and still be fine. As long as you don't close down below this 2-wave termination point, which is at $26. $26. That would be, that's pretty low, right? That is pretty low. But overall, that's what the weekly is showing. In terms of the, the extensions on these, right? So you got this wave 2 low, wave 2 high. You come right up to that 4272. Pretty nice move. That's a pretty strong move. So with this strong move, you're looking for, the 1 to the, 1618 would be extraordinary, but anything to above the 1 is really what you're looking for after that strong move. Yeah, you pierced to the 113. Not a very typical area, but you pierced above the 1, which is what you're looking for after a very strong A wave. You come down in your C wave, or sorry, your fourth wave of the correction. Okay, so when you come down through here. Okay, so you've came down through here. You wicked to that 0.5 level, pretty shallow correction. You tried to find support at this 137 mark. That's all we had, 137 for a while. Okay, tried to find support at that 137 mark. Pretty much did find support. You kind of dipped down below it a couple times, right? Dipped down below a little bit, dipped down below a little bit. But overall, pretty shallow correction. So Solana was showing a lot of strength. It continued on that fifth wave to the upside. It looks like a pretty truncated, it doesn't look like a very strong fifth wave, if I'm being honest. Not the strongest of fifths. Yeah, I tried to reach for the 1. That's the typical target for that fifth wave, is that 1 extension off the third. So, got to, what was the high? 295, it was 302, so you got $7 off. So, truncated fifth, it's all good. Now, this is the fun stuff, right? Fun stuff. When you've come down through here, so you have this A wave, okay? You have that A, okay? In your A, you have your 3-wave move down. Let me get rid of my chicken scratch. 3-wave move down, you have a 3-wave move up, okay? So you have an A, B, and you come down through here in 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's your A wave, okay? So you got an A wave. Then you've come up in a B wave. This was a B wave. 5 to the high. Okay, so you got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then down through here you should have another 5. You should have a 5. So you got a 5, 5, 5, or you could even say a 1, 2, 3. You really could say a 3-wave move, right? 3-wave move, 5-wave move. Okay, so you have a 5-wave move. So you have a 5 over here. And then down through you have a 1, 2, A, B, C, 3, 4, and you're in your 5th. Okay, so this is another 5-wave move through here. So I do believe, and I've believed for a long time, that we've been in a 4th wave correction for a lot of the alts. Okay, I didn't think it would be, as I thought the price action wouldn't be as severe. I thought it was just going to be longer, but market makers have taken the opportunity to obliterate alts. I mean, alts have been absolutely obliterated. I mean, you have like XRP down 16% today. Zcash is down. I mean, everything is down. It's red everywhere. It is red everywhere. There's not a lot of opportunity for, catching a falling knife is kind of sketchy right now. Kind of sketchy, but it's not just crypto. These are, blue chip. These are stocks that I, dabble in, get in, get out, long-term investments. These are, they're legit stocks. You can see it for yourself, okay? These are a little bit riskier stocks. I mean, majority is red, right? Majority is red. So what we got going on is just a complete and utter sell-off. The SPY is actually, it's not tanking too much, but it's the market isn't very happy with the labor statistics. There's a lot of stuff going on right now with what is happening in the government and just the lack of certainty. There's just a lot of uncertainty. Every day there seems to be bad news, negative news about tariffs, this, that, the other. There's just a lot of negative stuff going on, and that's not what risk on assets like. They like certainty. I'm talking, it's assets are a person, but the overall market likes certainty, and it doesn't like unexpected surprises, right? I guess the labor market came in with 36,000 more jobs lost than expected. So people are losing jobs right now, but overall, I know a lot of people don't think it, a lot of people don't agree, but you can go ahead and look it up yourself. As of 2022, late 2022, quarter 3, quarter 4. I can't, off the top of my head, I don't know. The U.S. has been in a technical recession since then. Okay. It was hidden with money printing, the news media, muddying the waters with releasing the other definition of a recession. But a technical recession is when 2 consecutive quarters print negative GDP. Okay, so we had 2 consecutive negative GDP quarters, and that is a technical recession. So I think we're coming out of a recession. This is like those birthing pains, the last of a hoorah before you start something exponentially great. We have, just talking about macro, there is a understanding that the trueflation, I don't know if you don't know about trueflation, it is a leading statistic on inflation. And so the Fed, they gather data, they go to all these, departments, and they compile the data, but they're usually a month to 2 months behind of what real-time data of what Americans are living with the current conditions. So right now, they're not acknowledging that inflation is under 1%. So inflation is under 1%. We're going to soon get deflation, where risk on assets are going to go crazy because, the dollar is not, it's not going to be worth, the dollar is crashing too. It's not just, crypto, but the dollar has been crashing, right? This is the value of the dollar since 2024, right? This is the value of the dollar. Crashing. It does look like it is in some type of fourth wave move down through here. Okay, it does look like it's in a fourth wave move. I cover things like the dollar index, all of these comparative charts that show a different side of the story on Friday's deep dives through Patreon. So if you're interested in those are telling a different story than what the narrative is right now. I mean, it's pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty bad. The sell-off is bad, especially if you're using leverage. I don't use leverage. I don't advise leverage. Spot and hold, maybe swing trade with spot, bags, but nothing. I don't use leverage. I don't advocate for leverage just because it's so easy to lose so much of your net worth. But for Solana, right, we're looking for maybe like a 79, like down through here, something like this. Let's see if this is something that can offer a possible bounce. It's right, I wouldn't be surprised if possibly you wick down and then close up around through here. This 2272, 2618, that's probably the worst I could see, $64 and then reversing. There's only so much selling pressure. We haven't looked at any indicators yet. We're going to keep this at 130. We're just going to move this slightly down to 136. And we are going to move, actually we're going to keep that just how it is right there. Okay, we haven't looked at any indicators yet. So let's go ahead and look at some indicators, see what Solana is doing. So Solana is currently on the Fu Manchu. Right? You can get this for free. You do not need to pay for it. Other influencers or crypto, content creators will charge you an arm and a leg for it. They'll say it's, they created it, this and that. It's free, right? You do not need to pay for this. It is right here, the Fu Manchu Cipher B divergence. It has both bearish divergence. It has bullish divergence. There's no bullish divergence on the weekly. That's crazy. That's crazy. But overall, there has been, the last time that this was this oversold was right here and right here. And it got a little bit more oversold down through here and right here. I know you notice that after every single time this thing has gotten this oversold, there is a, and this is on the weekly chart, so consecutive weeks of green. Right, consecutive weeks of green. Was this the low over here? No, it was not. It was not the low. So we're looking for, we're looking for a 1-2 setup. Looking for a 1-2 setup. You need something where, this 137. You really got to get above that. Got to get above that 137. So an ideal situation, a 1-2 setup would be something like this. Come up. Come down, use this. That was a pretty poorly drawn 3-wave move. It's supposed to be a 3-wave move. Right, something where you come up through here. You have to defeat this. Until you defeat 137, right, I don't care if you get to 127, I don't care if you come up through here. That's not, you're going to come back down. Okay, 137. That's that mark where you need to defeat that. Okay, you need to defeat that. Close above that on the weekly. In terms of the sell side wall, yeah, you had a blip of hope through here. This is probably over the summer, July, August area where things were kind of running up. Had a blip of hope. You're down at the oversold zone on the RSI level on the weekly chart. The last time you were down here was the bear market. I mean, these are, people want to say it's over, but you're at levels where you saw a reversal last time. All right, market sentiment is terrible right now. Believe it or not, it's kind of hard to even say. When I say this, it kind of even hurts that I've been buying. I know it's crazy. It hurts to even say it, but I have been buying my XLMs, my Jasmies, my DGens, because this is a time to buy. I'm not looking at my portfolio value in terms of okay, it's prices are down, prices are up. I'm just looking at the amount of coins that I can get at a price that I think is a discount. Right? I buy at lows, I sell at highs. It doesn't matter, whether or not I sell at the very top. It doesn't matter. I'm not trying to sell at the very top. I'm not trying to buy at the very bottom. I'm trying to buy where price is fair, and I'm trying to sell where price is overvalued. And that's kind of how I operate. I know you see this. If I see it, you see it. I'm pretty blind, but this green aspect right through there, that is bullish, right? So you're starting to build some bullish divergence somewhere. Okay, so somewhere there's some bullish momentum. We have lower lows on the MACD. On price, but we have higher lows on the MACD. Okay, lower lows on price, higher lows on MACD. So we're looking for something like this almost, right? Where you had lower lows, right? We had lower lows, pretty much lower lows, and we had like slightly higher lows. We were above the zero, so a little bit different. We were above the zero, but what I'm getting at is there's some dark red sell-side pressure. This week is probably going to finish up red. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't. But we're going to go ahead and look at the daily chart. Okay, the daily chart is probably super oversold. Cannot even. Wow, look at that. We're going to see how low these levels are. We haven't seen these levels since what? Okay, we haven't seen this level down through here. Okay, if a green dot pops up. Matter of fact, do I have an alert for Solana? So this is something that you guys would get for through Patreon through the Discord. All of these alerts are going to be on the weekly. I don't, so we're going to add. Oh, did one expire? Some expired. Okay, I'm going to go through and do all of these too. Cool. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to put an alert on here because we need Solana. We need to know when Solana takes off because Solana is it's pretty important in terms of the just overall altcoin market. When Solana goes, it's usually a pretty good sign that altcoins are reversing. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do that, and then can we make this through the 31st, maybe through April? Bingo. Cool. Okay, so Solana is good on that. Yeah, the daily hasn't been this oversold, like I said, since March 2025. You saw that reversal. Right down through here, you saw a reversal again. Saw a reversal. A little bit, you got sold off a little bit more on the during your lows of the bear market. And so, through Solana, this thing has been, whoa. Yeah, you're at levels where you'd see a bounce. At least for the daily, you'd see some kind of bounce. So, you're at relative lows for the Fu Manchu. You're at relative lows for the RSI on the daily. The MACD, this is delayed anyway, so this is probably going to turn dark red for the next couple of days just because of the sell side pressure that alt have faced. In terms of this fifth wave, because I do believe this is a fifth wave, I do think you're in your 1, 2, your A, B, C, your third, your fourth, coming up for your fifth. So you're pretty. I mean, you're getting close to being finished. You're getting close to being finished. We're gonna go through here. We're gonna invert this. And that's an impulse, all right. So we got to measure this impulse. So we got this 1 2 1 2, buckle my shoe. 2272. Wow. I mean, do we really have? Okay, maybe it's even like this, like your 1 2, your A, B, C for your third, come down for your fourth, and this is your fifth. I don't like that because this is way more impulsive for your fifth. I don't like that. But it doesn't matter what I like. It does not matter what I like. All right, when you get things like this, that looks so. I mean, look at those. Look at those moving averages. The EMAs, they're freaking moving and grooving, dude. I'm gonna come up to here. We're gonna see where we're at. Even if I don't like it, we're gonna see. We're gonna check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. So we had that 70, 78 right here. I'm gonna leave this on here. And I'll update the Patreon members through Discord on this. Somewhere through, let's go through here. Bada bing, bada boom. Slightly below. Okay, something like that. Okay, so a little bounce, something through there. Delete that. There you go. So looking to bounce somewhere through there for Solana on the daily. You know, when you get this oversold, you're looking for, I mean, people are just getting, you know, euphoric. Bears are euphoric. Oh, you got golden dots. Wow. You got golden dots. They aren't meaning anything on the 4 hour. I mean, you've got multiple golden dots. Nothing's really mattering on the 4 hour chart. Multiple golden dots. And then you did see a reversal. Multiple golden dots. Multiple more golden dots. So this thing has just been battered and bruised. It's not it's not just Solana though. It's everything. So when we do zoom into the 4 hour, we kind of do see this last fifth. Unless, let me see here. Unless, yeah, I do actually. Yeah, you got this like this 1 2. You have this A, B, C, 4, 5. Yep, I do like that. So, yeah, looking for a bounce from anywhere between, you know, this 80, 83 all the way down to 76. That would be ideal. Let me put this on the 4 hour. And so, yeah, that's what I got for Solana. You know, it's selling off pretty good. There's not a whole lot of green anywhere in the markets right now, for today at least. Like I said, I'll be updating this on the Patreon. If you're interested in the free Discord, it'll be linked in the description. You know, there's opportunities to talk about things. I upload community charts. And then also there's just the, you know, constant updates of what is being, you know, released and things of that. Also offer a paid Patreon membership. You guys get to vote. The premium videos are on Friday. They include macro deep dives, voted assets on for deep dives. There is also the ability for a profit lab series that I update and we go through and talk through about entry levels, take profit levels, stop loss levels, asset preservation, things of that nature. So as always, I thank you for your time. I thank you for stopping by. Take it easy. Peace.